I'm like, Jimmy Butler's back.
Dude, I mean, I didn't think he was back, but I mean, he did what he had to do, kind of like in the fourth quarter.
In the right
But,
time.
yeah, like, but man, to keep relying on the other guys every time, dude, that's not enough, man. Like, you gotta be him and Bam, man. They gotta be aggressive. What a game! What a series!
What a game. Like, bro, no way. That's probably the title of the episode. Bro, no way. All right, guys, welcome to episode 59. This is the latest we ever recorded before.
Yep.
Like, it's like almost 12.
Yep.
And it's like it's a reaction, man. It's a straight reaction, bro. Like, it's bro, no way.
Emergency pod.
Emergency pod, man. I had to drive like fucking 100 miles per hour to get there.
Oh man, this is crazy. We're on the verge of witnessing history, and what I think will definitely happen on Monday night, man.
You think so?
I think so, man. I don't think the Miami Heat can recover from this. I'm sorry. You kind of gave all the momentum. You know, it's really early to call. Like, we didn't even talk about the game yet, but I just don't know. I just don't know if you could recover from this, man. Like,
it's tough mentally, man.
You're 3 seconds away from reaching an NBA Finals again, and blown assignment. I think you did the best defensive job that you could possibly do in denying Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum a shot.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart gets off a great shot and a missed defensive assignment, which was kind of like the case throughout the night for the Miami Heat, man. And yeah, I don't think they can recover from this, man. I mean, the pressure kind of shifted now. I think obviously Boston is at home, so they're going to be playing with a lot more pressure and things like hey, you got to get this done. But the way that I saw these guys play tonight, and Bam and Jimmy, especially after Jimmy guaranteed a win after the last game, and the way they showed up tonight is just like, I just don't think they have it in them. And
I don't think Jimmy is like it was 9 out of 37. They're shooting 24%.
Yeah.
And versus Jaylen Brown and Tatum, 17 out of 38 shots, 45. So it's not a good shooting night for the stars of the Miami.
Yeah, but how did the Miami Heat get there, man? How did
the others?
Yeah, it's just, I think the Boston Celtics. I mean, I watched. Obviously you left, so because you have to drive back home. But I watched the post game a little bit with the TNT crew breaking it down, obviously, and I echo a lot of things that Chuck said and Shaq said as well. Like, Kenny probably didn't. He said Boston gave him every single opportunity that they could to give to win this game. And that's what happened. A lot of stupid turnovers. They shot 7 for 35 or 36 from three-pointer. I think they shot like 20% from three. They kept jacking up threes instead of doing what they did in the first half when they were absolutely clinical until like maybe the last 3 or 4 minutes of the first half. What's that?
When you said they were doing good, and then the first half, like
attacking in and out, the same thing that they did last game when they dominated the Heat, man. It's just this combination of playing in and out basketball, and then obviously the defense. Once they start hitting, these guys are making shots, they feel better about themselves. Marcus Smart was great all game. He feels great about himself. The defense is clicking, everybody's talking, that their energy's up. But once the second half came through, these guys gave the Miami Heat every single opportunity to actually get back into this game. And going into the fourth quarter, where Jason Tatum again did not have a particularly good fourth quarter. I think he made one bucket, one field goal, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, I think he made one field goal in the fourth quarter. His other points came off of free throws. And you have a 10-point lead with like 6 minutes left into the game, and then you put your
one bucket.
And then you take your foot off the gas pedal, which what Jaylen Brown said, because Chuck actually checked him. Chuck actually asked him straight up. It's like, yo, dude, like you guys keep doing this every single time. Like, when
What
are
they
you
say?
guys like he asked him, it's like, dude, like you guys gave these guys opportunity to come back in the game. This isn't a game that you were supposed to win. And Jaylen Brown agreed. He's like, yeah, but thankfully we won. And he was like, yo, I don't know. Like, it's I think we were playing not to lose instead of just playing the game and really trying to kill these guys off. And then Chuck was like, yo, you guys do this every single
Every
time.
game. What do you
Every
mean
t-
not to lose?
It's like every time, dude. Like, outside of last game, like when they absolutely dominated, and everybody. I mean, Gabe Vincent was missing, obviously, and
Yeah.
missing Gabe Vincent in the backcourt. That's just too much for the Heat to too much for the Heat to overcome. But like, dude, man, it was just I mean, I'm thankful for it. Every basketball fan in the world should be thankful for it. This is what we want. We want game sevens. We want the drama. This game was exciting. Like, I was rooting for Jimmy Butler. It's late in here. It's late, obviously. There's a lot of families in my building, and I was just popping off. I was like, yo, like, come on, get it done, Jimmy, get it done.
Yeah, close
Come
it out.
on,
Because,
man.
like, I feel like when when they went up 1 point, and then it was that moment when Jimmy Butler had that offensive foul when they were trying to review it for a flagrant foul.
Yep.
That was the momentum shift. Because they were up 1. I feel like, okay, there it is. It's over. The momentum is for the Miami Heat right now. They're not gonna be able to recover. They're gonna be jocking threes, like you said, like not trusting what they were doing first half. But lucky for Boston, man. Do you think that was an offensive foul? It wasn't a flagrant foul, but honestly, when you're looking at the play, do you think it's an offensive foul?
I mean, I'm personally, like, as from a basketball standpoint, no.
Yeah.
But I'm sure if I was in a Celtics jersey, I would have just been the same way. As like, yeah, offensive foul, because the elbow goes under the chin. But it's like, yo, dude, what do you want Jimmy to do? He's attacking.
It's a basketball play. Like, that's how
he's attacking the basket. He makes a play. He's like, sorry, your chin's there, bro. Like, move your chin up. Move your chin out the way. That ain't my fault. Like, so I didn't agree with the call. I completely disagree with the call, but
that was the momentum shift to me.
It's one of those things in the new NBA where they're trying to protect the players. Like, it's just like, it's silly, but it is what it is. But from your vantage point, what did you think? What did you see in the game, either from the Boston Celtics or the Miami Heat?
I think the Boston Celtics came in the first quarter, second quarter. They came playing ball. They came with a purpose. Second quarter, they kind of like loosened it a little bit. Miami Heat was able to come back. I believe 4 or 5 points at the half.
Yep.
But they were doing everything correctly, like you said. Points in the paint. They were doing very great. Slicing the defense, doing very great on the zone defense. Tatum showed up. Jaylen Brown, he was early in foul trouble, but everyone else was doing well. Second half, I said to myself, like, third quarter is whoever wins the third quarter is gonna win the game. That's my saying for the playoffs, especially for that series. Celtics won the third quarter, and they win the game. Overall, I think that it is, again, Celtics antiques doing well, but going down the wire, that's when they kind of loose up they kind of put their foot out of the pedal, and then Miami came back. Jimmy came back in the right time. I think he had I think he was shooting 60% in the fourth quarter. But one thing I want to say about the Heat, I feel like I don't know if they're gonna be able to do it. I feel like they should give more chance of Kyle Lowry handling the ball.
Yeah.
For a reason why I feel like Kyle Lowry, he kind of brings more intensity. He pushes the ball very well. The only thing, like, there was one play, like, he pushed the ball, but there was nobody around him. And very late in the minutes, Duncan Robinson made a cut and got a layup out of it. I feel like if you do that more, you can put Celtics in danger. Celtics is a very confusing team. Like the last title of the pod, I'm confused. Like no, they're a very confusing team.
100%.
When you bring intensity, fast break points, you kind of break their momentum. And I feel like if they did that more, because I didn't like the fact that most of the time Jimmy Butler was handling the ball going down the court.
Yeah.
I feel like it let the defense set. It was very difficult sometimes to get some shots. I feel like Jimmy should have been very closer to the basket. I feel like there was a point in the series against the Knicks where they changed it a little bit. Um, they had Jimmy in the pick and roll so he could be on closer to the basket, get some fouls, get some free throws, get some guys in trouble. But him bringing the ball 90% of the time, I didn't think it helped to me personally because I feel like he was not. It was too much work for him. Um, Making plays. It wasn't making him. It was not making him aggressive enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to see Laurie bring the ball whenever, like, if he starts. I mean, he's not starting because Vincent is not, but when he's on the court, whenever he's in the court, like, you guys gotta know, like, Laurie's gonna push the ball, like, get it going. There was a moment when Lowry had the ball, Bam was just standing there, like, make the cut, like,
Yep. That's
lucky for him. He had a layup against Brown because Brown was in foul trouble. Very smart to recognize that Brown was not gonna be like aggressive. But I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a great point that you bring. But and I agree. And at the same time, I think it's a very difficult decision for Spoelstra to make
Oh, absolutely.
because like Kyle Lowry was so abysmal last game as a starter, and that's when I was like, okay, I realize why you have transitioned into being a six man now, and what you said is absolutely spot on. They have to play faster. That's one of the, now that you brought it up, that I remember. It's like I'm watching the game and these guys are just like waiting for the Celtics defense to set every single time.
Why?
Jimmy Butler can't get anything on anybody, like, because he's not being aggressive. And this is one of the things that they praised for Jimmy Butler in the first 3 games where they went up 3-0, where it's like, oh yeah, he's such an unselfish superstar. He wants to pass the ball and wants to get everybody involved. But that's all fine and dandy when everybody's moving around. Like, I'm not seeing that from the Heat, like, over the last 3 games. Like, it seems like, okay, that's why I'm like, they're not gonna get it done, where it's like the offense just seems different now. Like, when the only time where it actually looked like the team that went up 3-0 was when Duncan Robinson came back into the game, and they're able to put him on pin down actions, and he's constantly moving and there's some flow to the offense. But when Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Caleb Martin was on the court, like, there was not enough movement. In my opinion, Jimmy Butler was never looking at the basket, and every single time that he looked at the basket, he's doing so many pump fakes that they at this point they just know, like, what your game is. Everybody was getting what they wanted out of Jimmy. Like, he couldn't get a bucket on White. He couldn't get a bucket on Smart. He couldn't get a bucket on Grant. And don't get me started on the pick and roll action when Robert Williams gets switched on to him. He wasn't getting anything on him. He only got one bucket when he did a strong straight line drive to the basket, where Robert Williams thought he was probably going to pump fake again and stopped. And then he was able to go get a nice, easy layup / dunk in the first half. But Jimmy Butler wasn't aggressive. Bam Adebayo looks like a shell of himself, not being aggressive on the mismatches that he has. And I don't think that they actually tried to hunt mismatches with Bam Adebayo, to be fair. And if you go look back at the box score, the Celtics, I think the Heat actually, hold on, let me just double check, or if you could double check for me.
Yeah, I can double check for you. Let me know.
I think the Heat actually won the offensive rebound, the offensive rebound advantage. But I don't know, like,
overall,
overall, like, I think they had more offensive rebounds than the Heat. I might be confusing them, but it just seems like the offensive rebounds that the Celtics were getting were so much more back-breaking than what the Heat were getting. And I think the Heat actually won the offensive rebound.
So I think Celtics had 12, and Miami
the Heat
had
17 or something like that.
Yeah, 17. You're
Yeah.
right.
So, it's just one of those weird things that the Celtics just look bigger. It's going to be curious to see what happens with Malcolm Brogdon with his injury. Like, he might be done for the postseason because, like, it's an elbow ligament issue. So, like, he can't really shoot anyways, and he didn't play today. I don't even know if he made the trip. I don't remember seeing him on the bench. Okay.
Yeah, he was there on the bench.
So, yeah, Robert Williams, Al Horford, I think that kind of helped him out with the shortened rotation. More continuity. I think guys know who has to take shots, less ball handlers, spread around the court. So I think that helps the Boston Celtics in a way. But, the Miami Heat they're just not playing the brand of basketball that actually got them into the position of being up 3-0. They're not moving the basketball well enough. Jimmy Butler's not being aggressive in the right moments. Bam Adebayo, he's just one of those other guys that's like confusing. That's why I think like he would be a perfect fit for a team like the Golden State Warriors. It's like, yeah, he's that guy that he has offensive potential, and he could be a 20-10 guy in the NBA, but he's just not really that guy. Like I think he's more of a facilitator. Like he's gonna give you great energy and great defense, and you shouldn't be relying on him to actually give you 20 points. But the reality is that the Miami has only two superstars and a whole bunch of other role players. And to rely on Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, and Caleb Martin to keep you in games until the fourth quarter for Jimmy Butler to take over is just not enough. Like that's why the ESPN stats, the ridiculous stats that came out with 97% to 3% for the Boston Celtics, it's no disrespect to the Miami Heat, but they're just better. Like it's just the Boston Celtics are just the better team. They have the more offensive talent. And the thing that disappointed us so much was that they weren't playing with effort or defense. And they're showing it a little bit more now, but it's still a team that's prone to turnovers. I think they had 13 or 15 turnovers in this game.
The Heat?
Yeah, no, the Celtics.
They had more turnovers for sure.
Yeah, so it's just a team like they're just gonna keep giving you chances, and it's still early. I'm gonna make another bold prediction, but the championship is staying in the Western Conference. I don't care who comes out of the East right now. If it's the Heat or the Celtics, they're not winning the championship against the Denver Nuggets.
They had 12 turnovers versus 5 turnovers for the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
You said the championship is staying with the Denver Nuggets?
It's staying in the West. It's staying in the West Coast. I don't think the only thing that could actually hamper the Denver Nuggets right now is because they've been sitting at home for 10 days and they're going to be out of rhythm for that first game. And these guys have been playing, they're going to be playing up until Monday. So they're just going to have like 48 hours of rest basically until they start the NBA finals. But other than that, I just don't see a team that makes so many mistakes and like the Boston Celtics does to actually give themselves a chance
Miami
against
Heat,
to actually give themselves a chance against the Denver Nuggets. Like Miami, if they make it to the finals, if they actually end up winning on Monday, they're going to have Tyler Hero coming back. So that's going to be an added boost to them. But
I doubt that he comes back because I saw like an article that says that it's very, very probable that we're not going to see him in the finals. But we'll be interested to see how his progress goes.
Yeah. So it's one of those other situations like, all right, do you really want to see this team? Like we all know what happened in the bubble. Like, the team was depleted again. And to go now, like, with another depleted team, it's like, do we really want to see that in the finals? Nah.
In the bubble, who went out besides what's his point guard name again? Forgot his name.
Vic?
Dragic?
Yeah, Goran was down. They had another injury too. I can't remember. But they definitely had another injury as well. So yeah, man. I mean, I'm just not sure about either of these teams. So I'm picking the Nuggets to win the finals. I was wrong last year.
Who'd you pick?
I definitely picked the Celtics to beat the Golden State Warriors.
Oh yeah. I remember when you were pissed off.
Yeah, I definitely picked them because they were bigger, more athletic.
You're definitely not gonna bet on them.
I learned my lesson. I'm not betting on the Celtics now, man. Like this team is just way too inconsistent.
Oh, that was there, man. That was a crazy game, man. Like
100%.
a lot of emotions for the fans,
100%.
both Celtics and the Heat fans. And it's
Yeah.
gonna be very, very, very much more intensity and
Yeah.
energy and emotions again for Game 7, which we're gonna
Oh,
be. It's gonna be on Monday,
yep.
I almost said Labor Day, Memorial Day. Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
8:30 Eastern time.
Yeah. Can we even talk about the last giveaway play as well? It's like Jimmy Butler's probably trying to do his best impersonation of what Kawhi Leonard did to the Philadelphia 76ers, going into the corner versus 7 foot Al Horford. Dude has nowhere to go. Like Chuck said, Chuck's like, yo, if this guy's hitting that shot, like turn around 3-point shot in that corner like that, you just tip your hat off to him, man.
Yeah,
Like, why
but
are you
you
putting
had to foul him.
why are you putting your hands on him, dog?
Yeah,
And you put your hands on him, you give
give
these
him a
guys
chance.
another opportunity again. And that was the theme of the game. That has been the theme of the series.
Let's give
Yeah.
him more opportunities.
Spo said he knows his players want to go. They want to run it back right now. He says he doesn't know how they're gonna get that W on Monday, but they're gonna get the W.
Oh, Jimmy's gonna get you. We're gonna win.
I'm calling Cap.
Capricorn.
I'm calling Cap. I don't think these guys have it in them.
I think that it's gonna. I think at the end of the day, like the way you
Mhm.
describe the Celtics, they definitely have a chance because Celtics is gonna give you a chance. I believe that Jimmy Butler and Bam are gonna be aggressive because it's the last game.
Mhm.
Now you just got to gamble about the others. I know guys like Martin. I'm not gonna have any problems like for Martin. Martin is gonna show up. He's been showing up for the series. He's not missing no threes. Um Strus, we're gonna have to see. Gabe Vincent, I think he's gonna be okay as well. Kyle Lowry, bring him in. When he's in, he's gonna bring the intensity, but people have to make sure that they're here when the intensity is up. I think the Heat has a chance because the Celtics is gonna give him a chance either way. And so it's gonna be tough though because when we're talking about the mentality in the mental aspect of losing 3 straight games, now the advantage is on Celtics. They're feeling good about themselves. Don't let them get one. I mean, don't let them get one. Don't let them get two. Don't let them get three. Now they're gonna be confident. So
Yeah. What do you think, man? What from either
I don't even
team?
know, man.
What from either team? What do you think they should be doing to win out a game 7 come Monday?
Okay, definitely for the Heat. Please bring the intensity when it's needed. Sometimes there's some rebounds when you can push the ball to get some quick, fast break points. Get them. Don't wait don't wait for the defense to be set. I think the Miami Heat has to bring more intensity, more energy, and Bam and Jimmy has to be aggressive from the get-go, just the way LeBron was aggressive in the first game. I mean, the last game against the Nuggets. Set the tone. You're the star. You're the star. Set the tone. The other guy's gonna follow. Jimmy, I don't need you to be a facilitator in the first quarter or second quarter, man. They're gonna follow. Um, bring the intensity for the Miami Heat. I mean, for the Celtics, um, when they set the zone defense for you, keep slicing the defense. Be aggressive in the paint. There was a great stats. You play basketball, like every time they touch the paint, they do very well in the threes because they get like wide, but they got to knock the shots. Derrick White has to stay aggressive, knocking those shots. Harford as well. So for the Celtics, keep slicing the defense, keep pounding the paint, making sure the guys are ready for threes. Can be brick. Also bring the intensity. Don't take your foot off the pedal just the way they did in the fourth quarter last game when the Miami Heat almost took the game. What was that, game 5? They almost took the game 5, and then Missoula, thankfully the coach took a timeout and then set some offense for them. Don't feel comfortable, man. And also limit those turnovers, man. We had enough of those turnovers.
Yeah, casual play from their guys like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. For me, yeah, I'm gonna echo some of the same things that you said. Yeah, Jimmy Butler, like you got to be aggressive, man. It's like you're not getting paid max dollars to be a facilitator right now, man. You're in Game 7 in the of the Eastern Conference Finals. You got to have that dog mentality. Like we don't want no chihuahuas, bro. Like this ain't little league, bro. This is big dog
Big
time.
league.
This is big dog time. You got to come in with the aggressive mindset, not this passive thing. Like you got a fifth of bourbon in your system, and you're trying to hydrate yourself throughout the game and trying to knock yourself back into the game, bro. Like you got to be aggressive. Like you got to be a mentality of like, yo, I need to score 40. I need to score at least 40%, 50% of my team's points to give myself a chance.
Yep.
And like the other guys will follow. Cause like once the attention is on you, if you're hot and they're trying to start switch up matchups, like we kind of saw it. Like when Joe Mazzulla had said it, that it's like, yo, we don't need to double team Jimmy. And they made the mistake in game 3 of doubling Jimmy. And that's when they blew out they just ran the Celtics out the gym. Like he never did it. And then he listened to the streets. And when he went to double Jimmy, they ran him out the gym. But, that's just one. Bam, you have to be decisive on mismatches. Like you cannot wait. You cannot be thinking. Like that's the thing that these guys were doing in this game. Like they were just so undecisive and they didn't know what they wanted to do. Like you got to play free, man. Like Caleb Martin was just letting it fly. Gabe Vincent was playing aggressive. Like these guys are not afraid to make mistakes. And
even Duncan was letting it fly until the last shot. Not the last shot, the shot before that. I feel like he thought too much about the shot, and it kind of messed up his rhythm. But he was doing very well all game.
100%, 100%. I completely agree. And from the Celtics standpoint, it's just like don't just rely on your talent. Like you guys, like the most disappointing aspect of this team is just like they have so much defensive potential. But it just seems like these guys just don't take pride in playing defense. It's like the mentality that Ime Udoka instilled in this guy's last years and the principles are gone now. Like these guys had a mentality of like, we're going to be the hardest playing team night in and night out. And that's just not the case. Every other team plays harder than the Boston Celtics. Doesn't matter what the box score says, they won. But the Miami Heat definitely played harder than the Boston Celtics. And that's something I can respect. And that's why I can't pick them to beat the Denver Nuggets, because these guys just don't play hard. Like their talent are getting them through the series right now because they have Jason Tatum and he was aggressive. Jaylen Brown played a good game despite being in foul trouble. And White and Smart, they stepped up. But you just cannot rely on your talent to win an NBA championship.
Yeah.
You got to play hard, man. You got to bring that energy and you got to bring that mentality of like, hey, we're going to kill these guys. Use Robert Williams a little bit more. I think when he was in the game, there was a different dynamic. There's a different dynamic in the game for them, like where he's a lob threat. So on screens, like, especially once they take Bam out of the paint, like with Al Horford and Robert Williams being a 3-point threat and a lob threat. Once they take Bam out of the paint, the Miami Heat are just so small that the Boston Celtics get so many second chance buckets that I think that you should really look into utilizing that. But Boston going to do what Boston do, and they're going to jack up threes. That's what they love to do. So we're going to see what happens on Monday night, but I'm thinking the Boston Celtics are going to close this out, and we're going to have a Nuggets and Celtics finals.
All right, so we're going to see what happens, and then we'll be back next week.
Yep.
Before we end the emergency show, we just have to let the audience know that two teams won their league today. Bayern Munich won their 11th straight consecutive Bundesliga. As Dortmund just handed the cup to them, basically. The Dortmund lost 3-2, if I'm not mistaken. No, they tied 2-2, and Bayern won 2-1. Very, very sad ending for Dortmund and Jude Bellingham, who's most likely moving to Real Madrid. Ugly scenes, Mike. I know you were watching the game.
Yeah, I was watching both games simultaneously.
Yeah, man, it just didn't. It just Dortmund didn't want it. Like it's in the first half, like we're saying, like there was no play, there was no games. A lot of like you were saying, a lot of stupid crosses, a lot of wing plays that didn't result to anything. No very like intensity in the midfield. Nothing really, no emergency, and the transition of Mainz was very deadly. Um, and the other is PSG, who won their 11th league, 1-1 against Strasbourg away. And also Messi made history. He's the top scorer in Europe now with 496 goals. He just passed Ronaldo. So yeah, it's a very sad very sad League that PSG just won because you don't really feel like they were like really celebrating like that.
Yeah, I mean, where's the challenge there really? So,
Messi probably
congrats.
gonna throw away that cup. He's like, okay, whatever.
You saw that little cartoon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that was funny.
looks so sad, like he didn't give a
That was funny. Yeah, man. I mean, I didn't think I was gonna almost witness two choke jobs today, but we kind of saw it. I guess that's been the theme this year, man. A lot of choke jobs from Arsenal, and now we look at Dortmund. Um, at least in the EPL, the city actually went and got it. They
yeah.
they they went and won it outright. Um, for the Bundesliga,
They just gave it
Bayern,
away
yeah, Bayern,
last.
Bayern, Bayern had no business winning this
Yeah,
this Bundesliga
and
title.
I almost forgot that they dismissed Khan and Asan, and
Yep.
they wasn't even there. They didn't even get a sip of the champagne. And I
This
feel like you said, like to me, Arsenal was not a choking job. I feel like just Manchester City just came in and kind of like like when you're just like running and there's this big monster running behind you and you're like,
Yeah.
God damn it, just go, like, or and I don't want to make that joke. Never mind. Yeah, but I feel like for Arsenal, it's just gonna make them stronger. Like
Yeah, hopefully.
it hurt them, so it's gonna make them stronger. I don't feel it's the same for Dortmund. For Dortmund, I just think that they're just like, wow, like
Yeah. It
another
was
bottle job.
it wasn't once in a lifetime opportunity for them at least. Like I don't think we'll
Wah,
ever
wah,
I don't
wah.
I don't think we're gonna see a Bayern team that vulnerable and that dysfunctional for a long time again, because I think they're gonna learn really quickly from what happened this season, and they have a terrific coach in Thomas Tuchel,
Yeah,
who's going. They're gonna give him power, and they're gonna
and they're gonna probably give him the players that he wants.
yeah. So it was incredibly sad to watch, not only from the players but from a coaching perspective. They got scored on two terrible defensive mistakes. Like they didn't defend a corner well, and a transition play where a cross, like
And
the
a nice header.
yeah, in between both defenders, it was just like, come on, it was just embarrassing, and
Yeah,
they were never able to get anything done in the first half to actually get a goal to get the fans back into it and give them a little bit of hope,
a
I think.
sad penalty miss for Haller too.
Yeah, again, like yeah, it's just like so much things went wrong when
It was not
watching
meant to
that
be.
game. Yeah, I mean, I didn't follow Dortmund closely throughout the season. We were mostly on Bayern, I would say. Um, but yeah, man, I mean, the one thing I knew is that their defense was terrible all throughout the year. That's why Schlotterbeck was not a starter anymore. Sula and Hummels solidified their spots in that back four. Jude Bellingham obviously couldn't play a part, so he reinserts Rafael Guerrero again, who did absolutely nothing last game in midfield. Reinserts him in midfield again instead of playing him on the wing or at left back. The only time these guys were able to really start getting into the game was when Gio Reyna came on and another 17-year-old called Duranville that came on as well. That's the only time these guys really started creating. And thankfully, they didn't lose the game because Sula did an incredible job of getting a shot off in the last second, but it was still a loss. Like you didn't
it's
even
gonna be a sour taste in their
you
mouth
know,
all
so
summer long.
yeah, everybody was crying. Like it just sucks, man. It just sucks. But shout outs to Tuchel. Redemption for him at least.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just I saw an amazing stat. Reyes never won a Bundesliga.
Yep.
He was so close.
That was a shot. Please don't come to please don't come to United.
He is kind of, I think it's like Fabrice was saying, like it's that time synced. You're not gonna come and get someone that's very injury prone. He's not gonna create depth when there's no one. There's never gonna be. It's never gonna be available. How is he gonna create depth for you? So like nah. That was his moment, and he didn't. It didn't take it, so it's over.
Yep.
All right. Emergency pod was a very good one. I think we should name this one, "Bro, no way." Yeah, because the way that Derrick White shot went, like no fucking way. Yeah,
man, crazy,
yeah.
Pandemonium, craziness. Everybody in that stadium, man, was so sad. I could only imagine how Sebastian felt, bro.
Yeah, I mean, there's still Game 7. There's still hope, but obviously you're gonna be pissed off because you could have like closed this right there and then not going all the way to Boston. Have to deal with their fans. Yep. Have to deal with another like 4 quarters.
Yeah,
like it's like as a fan, it's annoying. Like you should be getting ready for the finals, not this.
100%. The last note I'll say is that Jimmy, why Jimmy should just create some story like Michael Jordan did, like in the past when it's like, why are you waiting for people to talk to you? Just imagine that Derrick White said that, or Gary or Grant Williams said something to you. Yeah. Create something, man. Like, why are you playing so passive? Just create a lie in your head, man.
Game 7 Monday, 8:30 Eastern time. Let's get it. Episode 59.
Yeah.
Yeah, 59. All right. Peace.